Welcome back to another episode of Waiting for Players. I'm Adam.
I'm Adam.
I'm John, Peter, and Josh.
Wow, those are a lot of shoes you're filling, sir.
Just one, but it's all up here.
You're over there by yourself, though. Who are you going to molest? Whose nipples will you touch to tweak?
I'm trying to better John.
All right.
I'm playing John higher up.
Oh, fair enough. Harder difficulty.
At least a full foot taller too.
You can just tweak your own nipples,
but then
it'd be like you're tweaking Peter's nipples. Cause
they're at PAX. That's where they are.
They're at PAX. They're tired from PAX. One or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which I don't blame them. I went one day to PAX and I'm pretty tired. So.
John worked it. I can only imagine how exhausted that dude is.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to hear his stories though when he comes back next week.
Yeah, so we'll probably talk about it a little bit this week and a little bit next week when we get different sides of it. I went with my kids, so.
But you're gonna notice a definite switch in format, and maybe Adam wants to discuss that real quick.
Yeah,
it's both of you.
Yes.
We are trying something new. Probably be, I would say, maybe a few changes here and there, like as we work out.
We're evolving to our next form.
There you go.
Our higher form. We're like a Pokemon.
If you're listening to this on a normal Wednesday release, this is we're not playing a game like we normally do in the audio podcast.
We are not, and we're also running a shorter time, and this is just basically the news / happenings part of the show. And we're switching the game to the game will still be a live stream Friday night, correct?
Monday night.
Mondays.
Yes. No idea
Like
why
always.
I said Friday.
Yeah.
Always a Monday.
Yeah.
8 p.m. Pacific, unless that changes.
Yeah. Hopefully this change will make it easier for the audio listener and more enjoyable also for the streamer on Monday too.
Exactly.
Stream watcher,
Exactly.
I guess.
Well, I always kind of felt bad for the audio listener that had to hear us talk about a game but never see it. So now if they just come for the news, well, that's separate, you know, and it's going to be easier for them to find.
And then they won't have to listen to us being like, oh, look at that. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Having the game interrupt the news when...
Right.
So, yeah.
Let's us all focus on it a little easier, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Other than that, do you want to talk about your experience with PAX before we move on?
Yeah, we can. Like I said, I went with my kids, so, you know, a lot of it is...
Doing what they want to see.
Doing what they want to see, getting them, come on, guys, get up off the ground because they're tired, you know.
So we got more to see, more to stand in line for.
They always enjoy the PC free play area, so they can just they can play together on their own computer or with all of us, you know. So I was with Mike and Rick, loyal listeners.
Oh, very
of ours,
nice, very nice.
Friends
so,
too.
Yeah.
No, speak for yourself.
All right.
I have no friends.
I'm just
Noted.
kidding.
I have one friend.
So we spent at least an hour or two playing in that also.
Mm-hmm.
We played a little bit of H1Z1.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It's fun. I can't say that it's like better or worse than PUBG because I don't.
H1Z1 also has a survival mode like DayZ does, though.
This is the King of the Kill edition. So
right.
just,
Which I think is actually two completely separate purchases if you go to buy it on Steam. Okay.
It's only, well, I think it's either $20 or $30 on Steam.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And I mean, honestly, H1Z1 is probably the best predecessor to the DayZ mod out there. So if you're looking for a fairly quality survival game, so I've heard, H1Z1's the way to go. I used to play DayZ, and then the standalone came out, and it was worse than the vanilla DayZ mod,
Right.
So nobody played it.
I've never played any of them.
Oh, it's so much goddamn fun.
Yeah, I've never played the survival mode. Or just, I guess it would just be the regular H1.
I've never had a video game get my heart pumping that hard, have made me that legitimately scared, and just had me like that much on the edge of my seat. Because like you are hunting other live people in a if you die you lose everything type of situation. So those games are fun as hell.
Nice. It was I mean, we had fun playing it. My son wanted to go through it a couple times, so, and the line was short. It took like maybe 10 minutes to get through the line.
Oh, that's not fun. I probably would have played it a couple times too, to be
and
honest.
they didn't mind if you stayed. Like if you died once, you could stay for at least another round.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like it like that when they're not getting as much foot traffic, at least at the time that you're there. A lot of those people are usually pretty understanding. It's like, no, sit down, play again if you want.
Yeah.
Like, because it gives you more exposure and you walk out with a positive experience.
Right.
How many sweet beta keys did you get while you were there?
I didn't get any, actually.
Really?
No, I didn't. But I believe John has some, so we'll probably
Nice.
we'll probably look into some of those soon.
That was the one thing that I always liked about going to PAX is sweet beta keys.
Yeah.
And
If you-
skins.
and skins, just all the little
Play
free
more.
DLC.
I got like free downloads for some card game, Shadowverse.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So I haven't. I have those. I saw John playing those earlier. I was playing that game earlier on Steam. So.
Oh, yep. He probably wouldn't checked it out because he's like, ooh, free stuff. So, hey, it's a great way to get people into your game.
But other than that, just walked around, looked at all the sites, and there was some pretty cool stuff. Like, what game is that? That Ark game?
Ark Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Survival Evolved or some
Something
shit
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Not considered a very good game as far as I
My little
understand.
brother loves it.
Really?
Every time I
Okay.
go over there.
I've seen a lot of complaints about it on the internet when I was
Oh,
looking it up.
yeah,
earlier,
he's like-
so.
It's one of those. It's been in early access forever. It's probably where Astroneer's gonna end up.
Right.
Mhm.
Where there's so many problems that they need to be fixing instead of releasing DLC.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. Anything else noteworthy while you were there? How were the props, if you will? Because PAX is quite showy compared to like Comic-Con.
Well, that's what I was getting at. The Ark booth had this huge dinosaur that you could get on.
Oh,
So it was like
really?
this huge T-Rex and like this smaller, I don't know what kind of dinosaur, but smaller dinosaur that you could get on and they take pictures of it and stuff.
That's pretty rad.
It was pretty cool. There was a, let's see, it was for Monster Hunter World.
Okay.
It was a huge booth with like this giant just dragon sitting
That's
out,
pretty
so
rad.
I got a few pictures of those.
Mm-hmm.
Just things like that. Cool props, cool little monsters and
Mhm.
stuff like that. And some of them from games I know, some of them I don't.
Fair enough. That's one thing that I always really liked about PAX is how much more of a presentation everybody puts
Right.
on. So like it's all dark in there and like I don't know, it feels more of like this discovery of finding stuff in weird dark spots in the convention center as opposed to like Comic-Con, which is still wonderful, but it's just like I can see all of it. Everything's super bright.
So what you're saying is what you
Right.
really like is the appreciation that most nerds are gross looking and they keep it darker just to keep
Yeah, I guess
everybody
so.
happy.
Well, plus it keeps it cooler in there because you don't have all those lights on all of the time. Which,
Well, then I challenge you. Do you feel warmer now?
Yes,
You do.
100%.
Really?
I am 200 times warmer than normal.
What, 200
Wow.
times? Wow.
So that's
Which
like
is a lot more than
that's-
100%. I realize that.
it's like 200 degrees.
We're like
Yeah.
dead.
I
We've burnt and melted into the couch.
am
Yeah.
slowly cooking. Yes.
If you notice, there might be a new tone, color shift. Do not adjust your displays. Adam got new lights.
We're
Yes.
trying out some new lighting in the studio. We'll see how that'll be one of the gradual changes, right? It's like this is the first test of that. so
Yeah.
Yeah.
if something looks really weird, like sorry, hopefully I'll make it
We'll
better the
fix
next
it.
time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If we're like really super oversaturated or something.
Your contrast is weird. Everything's in photo negative. It's just odd.
Our faces are like purple. Then,
Right.
like that.
Sweet. Should do that anyways.
You look like Mr. Negative from the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
But just us trying to, I don't know, up our production value a bit.
Mhm.
We do have a little bit of news to get through in the next 10 minutes that we've got, so let's rapid fire through this. The first of which being that, Adam has this one.
I do. I'll throw up some of the concept art on the video. Yeah. Oh, that's the perfect timing.
Sounds uncomfortable. I threw up a whole piece of art.
Where's the mouse at? I can
I've got
probably
it.
click on that first link so that way we can see the concept art.
Don't you tell me how to live my life.
So-
Why does he get so uppity when you try to help him?
Yeah, this looks great. Look
So
at all the.
basically,
Oh,
this
all
is
right.
a podcast I was listening to, and one of the game designers was being interviewed for
Mhm.
God of War, and he was talking about a few different aspects of the game, which is really kind of interesting. So like, there's this. They're gonna use
Nordic gods.
like this rune alphabet.
Oh,
What is
gotcha.
it? Elder.
Scrolls?
Go up. Go scroll up.
Elder Futhark. Yeah, Elder Futhark.
Yeah,
Elder
Elder
Futhark.
Futhark. So again, I guess that's like one of the most ancient rune alphabets
Okay.
around.
Really?
So that there's gonna be like that's a whole system of it's gonna be integrated into the magic and the puzzle systems in the game too. But they worked with like, so you'll be able to see a rune and decipher it, like what it means.
Uh-huh.
But they didn't go the easy route and just like write everything out, like translate it from English to to that rune and then put it up there.
It's also
'Cause they're
scrambled.
they'll cut out part of the world doing that, you know. So they translated whatever they're trying to say from old Norse,
Yeah.
from English to Old Norse and then to the runes.
Really?
So that way, if you look it up, you have to do that extra layer of translation from Old Norse to English.
That's ballsy for a God of War game.
I like it though because
I like
it is
it,
based
too.
on
It's
Norse
pretty
gods.
interesting.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the attention to detail that they
Yeah.
seem to put in it. You
That's
know?
what I mean. Like I don't think they did that in the last 3
Right.
or 5 or whatever there are.
Languages overall are going to be a big part of the game. Like
It's going to be the basis of magic.
they created a different language for every realm.
Really?
Yeah.
There's 9 realms, so yeah.
Right.
On. There should be though, because like everybody speaks like a common tongue on Midgard, but then there's like languages among the Svartalfheim. And
So
Yeah.
there'll be parts of it where your son is like he's kind of book smart, but not that born killer like
Kratos
is. You know?
Father, why?
Right. So he knows a lot of things that he's never actually seen before and stuff like that.
Okay.
So there will be times where you have no idea what the other character is telling you, and your son has to translate it for
Nice.
you.
Oh.
You know?
And your son tags along this entire game?
Yeah.
Well, as far as I
Seems
know,
like it.
yeah.
There's also
I mean, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if they threw some twist in there at some point.
Oh,
you know?
I'm sure.
So I like this. Magic in the game all involves words, spoken incantations, and runes. And earth magic is mentioned, for example, that involves touching the ground to use parts of something, maybe parts of dead enemies, and parts of the environment like rocks or roots. An item is also mentioned that you can access that Kratos can open for the kid to get a piece of the story and recall stories his mother told to him.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's more incantations of magic as opposed to like you beat this guy
You now
and
have
now
this.
you have
Yeah.
Right.
now you
Fireball.
have
Right.
that spell.
There's a few extra elements to it then. So.
Right. And then,
Everything I've seen so far seems like it's shaping up to be pretty cool.
we're also celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Witcher series. CD Projekt Red put out a nice little 2-minute video that
Very
takes place.
heartwarming.
Yeah, it takes place in Corvo Bianco. If you beat Blood and Wine, that's where you kind of end the game. And everybody that you've seen across all the games is there, but they're also all in Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see them all together, and it transitions from narration to actual
Conversation.
dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's all Geralt talking the whole time, and we gave that voice actor our best voice acting for the year, so good on him.
I mean, it's a little
gruff.
and monotony,
Yeah. But if you notice, like
That
he
really
gets-
fits the character itself.
Yeah, he's subtle.
Yes.
That's the problem. Like when Geralt goes, then it tends to mean something, as opposed to like that was a whole sentence there for Geralt, you know. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, and it was really nice. Like, I haven't even finished the game yet, but I still have this connection to the characters because it's so in depth and just such a fun, challenging game that, like, as he starts to talk to you, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, you know, we play Gwent and drink wine, and every once in a while we go steal grapes from the vineyard down the road."
Yeah.
But how are
Lambert basically
you?
lives here.
Yeah.
He's like, "But how are you?" And it's just like
It does a switch, and you're like, oh shit, I'm a part of this.
it does a really good job of capturing the feeling you get when you actually catch up with an old friend. You know, somebody
Sure.
that you used to be close to. Like, it was very well done.
Yeah.
So happy 10 anniversaries, Witcher.
And then lastly, we got 2 new trailers for Shadow of War, which I'll highlight anytime that happens. The first one definitely shows the intricacies that you can affect the level of gameplay and the story in this
Which
game.
is a lot more than the last one. The last one was just like who you killed and who you didn't kill is really the only thing that matters.
This one, you can scar them, you can turn them, you can spare their lives, you can...
Yeah, you can make them obey the ring, in which case they're subservient in a different way.
Subservient.
Subservient.
Observient, they
They're
look at
watching.
things.
Well, hey, there was the one that lost an eye, and he saw things a different way.
But it's really cool. Like, I didn't expect that. Like, and it happens on both sides of the conflict.
Yeah.
Like that guy that he lost an arrow, he's like, I used to hate the Grave Walker. Now I'm gonna fucking kill him. And then there was the one like he took my arm.
Yeah.
He just appeared out of nowhere and took my arm, but I noticed in the darkness that I would be the one to end him and stuff like that. It was like ah.
I also love how weirdly mutated all of the orcs get. Like, he lost his arm, so he's got this weird, like, fire poker extension.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. And the other trailer that got released is actually for some DLC.
It's called Forthog Orc Slave.
Yeah, which is in tribute to one of their developers, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
43-year-old Michael Forgey.
Yeah, unfortunately, he lost his battle with cancer during the production of this game. So they're putting out this DLC in his honor, and they're
It's
going
gonna
to
be $5.
and $3.50 of that is going to go to his family until the end of 2019.
Yeah,
So they're going to get the lion's share of that DLC purchase.
Right. That's awesome. I didn't know it was only gonna be $5.
Yeah, I would have figured
That's
like 10,
awesome,
15,
man.
and they would have gotten $3.50.
yeah. I'm
So-
looking at it. I'm looking at the story here, and the quote from Warner Brothers says, "Neither Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment nor Monolith Productions will profit from any sales of the Forthog Orc Slayer DLC, regardless of the territory in which the DLC is sold."
Which is
Nice.
wonderful. I mean, that's just really like taking care of your family, because
Yeah.
that's
Right.
basically what
absolutely.
you were doing during the production of this game.
So Eurogamer does point out that now this statement, while frustrating in its lack of clarity, does suggest that no matter which territory you buy the Forthog Orc Slayer DLC from, Warner Brothers will make its $3.50 donation across the board. It just seems unable to say so explicitly, no doubt for some mind-numbing corporate legal reasons.
God, yeah.
But that's probably as close as we're gonna get until we actually see it happening.
Right.
He was a Monolith executive producer.
Okay, that's what it was. So he was even higher up and probably was in contact with a lot more people. I was already planning on buying Shadow of War because Shadow of Mordor was fun, and this is just it brought to another degree. I'm definitely buying the DLC now as well.
Yeah.
Like, especially for only
seems
$5.
like a no-brainer if you're gonna get the game anyway.
Right.
So,
Well, and for $5 and it supports his family, like
Right.
even if it was 15 or 20, just because of that, I'd probably still do it.
So the goal of this new format is to do it like behind the curtain. We're going to do about a half an hour before it. We stream every Monday, so we're going to keep the news format and the news cycle still going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to stretch out this first one to 20 minutes because we got a little rough start.
Oh,
So we're about to end here. Any final thoughts for the week before we move on into the next week?
play
just-
video games.
Well, there you go. Just like we said, there'll be a few changes if you know if.
If you like them, let us know.
Yeah, exactly.
don't-
If you don't like them, let us know.
That too.
Tell
Tell
us
us how to fix it.
We will take any kind of constructive criticism.
Oh,
We'll
absolutely. We'll take some of
We'll
it.
take shitty criticism too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we're
We'll
trying
still
to
read
make
it.
yeah.
You know?
Well, at the end of the day, we're trying to make content that these people enjoy to watch or listen to. So that's what we're trying to do. Let
right.
us know if you enjoy it or don't enjoy it.
Last thing I want to plug or say, we have a video out of 1001 Spikes with the Comic Dads that we did over the course of the last week or two. Be sure to check that out, and be sure to check out Renton City Comic Con coming up on September 16th and 17th. If you remember having or watching or listening to an interview we did with Stephen Smith, he'll be there. He's bringing 2 other of his colleagues along with him. There's also going to be a ton of cosplay, celebrity guests, panels, comics, dads, all that stuff, and science, and we'll be there too. So yeah, be sure to check that out. Renton City Pavilion, the 16th and 17th of December, and be sure to check out Science Nights and Comics Brew, and that'll do
Yep.
it. That's all.
And
See you later.
right before we go,
Oh.
this last Monday we streamed 1001 Spikes. Go check that video out as well. That's the other part of the
Give it a
beginning of
like,
the new
give us a
format.
subscribe
Absolutely.
if you haven't
Absolutely.
already.
We'll see you guys later.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.